Here we have the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. Been out a while as this one, but I recently picked it up nice and cheap, and I wanted to see what alternatives are out there since Amazon's Amazon Fire HD 8 I was not impressed with. So let's get this unboxed. We'll just open the box, see what's inside. Now, spoiler alert, I have already opened this, so it's not quite the unboxing experience when it is brand new, but I've tried to rebox it to show you what it would be like. So here goes. So we've got a nice, almost fabric-like cover on the device here. So we just open that up and take the device out. There it is. We'll come back to that in a moment. See what else we've got in the box. Just spin that round. Got some goodies in here. Got a nice little warranty card there. A lot of information there. Not going to read it here. And quick start guide, usual drill. Just telling you what things are. And USB-C cable. Just unwrap that. Quite a short charging cable this, but long enough to charge a tablet. So it's USB-C. That's nice to see. If you pardon the pun, that's not a pun, is it? But you know what I mean. Got a SIM tool in there, which will be to put the micro SD card in the micro SD slot. And we've got a charger here. Just take a quick look. So this is 7.8 watts. Although I understand it will charge it up to 15 watts, according to the specifications. Got your front-facing camera there, and then flip it around on the back. Got rear-facing camera there, and quite a nice metal back. I think it's metal anyway, it feels metal. So that's good. And then we'll look around the side. So we've got the micro SD slot there. So you need the SIM tool to get to that. And we've got one of the speakers there. Power lock button, volume rocker, microphone. And then on the bottom of the device, we've got the other speaker. It does do Dolby Atmos stereo when we are in landscape mode. And we've got another microphone there. USB-C charging and a headphone jack. Pretty cool. Let's get it powered on. Quite a nice sharp display despite it being fairly low resolution, and colours seem quite nice on there, which is, I mean, this is just a lock screen, but Samsung do tend to get it quite right when it comes to actual display. Around the side, very thin bezels here, and where the camera is and the chin, quite thick, but you need something with a tablet to actually hold on to it. In terms of the speed of the device, it's fairly snappy. It does sort of not take long to move. There's a tiny bit of lag when you pull down on some of the menus, but it is quite a low powered device because it is so cheap. But don't let that put you off. In terms of basic browsing, that kind of thing, it's going to be great. So just try it out with some video playback. So to test the video playback, I've just put the brightness on full, and we're just going to play one of my videos on full volume. Okay, although I'd imagine scalpers will put these on eBay at Christmas or before Christmas. So let's take a look. 53 classic games. Really loud, really nice, really crisp, bright display. I like that. Take a look at some gaming. So a bit of Minecraft here. Seems to be running quite nicely. Just have a look around, see if there's any lag. This is running perfectly. Admittedly, Minecraft is quite an old game now, so even on lower end hardware it does run okay. It's quite an old game, it's really old thinking about it, isn't it? But yeah, if you want a device to just run games similar to Minecraft, then you're good to go. Nice crisp display again. It does have Bluetooth, so you would be able to connect a controller using Bluetooth and play it in that way. Take a look at something else. And a bit of Asphalt 9 Legends, which doesn't always run on tablets that are this cheap, or phones for that matter. There's a little bit of delay there, but it's definitely sort of playable. I think when it just loads those little cutscenes when you crash, it just yeah, it's just not quite quick enough. Don't know if that's because the storage isn't quick enough or if it just genuinely doesn't have the processing power. But it does affect the game experience. But it is sort of playable if you're happy to deal with that. There we go, it happened again. It's not the end of the world though. There are other games. Speaking of which, let's take a look at something else. And still one of my favourites, Call of Duty Mobile. Runs on low settings. You can see there, bottom corner, graphic quality low. But as you'll see, it's rather playable. Definitely playing against bots here. But it works. And it's fun. Doesn't seem to be much slowdown. So all good here. So you wanted to vlog using this tablet. Obviously not a good idea. But this is what you would expect. So there's no image stabilization. And as I pan round, you can see around the edge of that dartboard there's a lot of grain. And my face looks a bit washed out. So let's see what the other camera's like. So there we go. This is the rear facing camera. Again, no image stabilization. I'm recording here in fairly good light, so a bit of studio light really. Just sort of moving around the object just to give you an idea. And just to give you an idea of the audio, I'm speaking over this as you can hear. So I'll go a bit close to the item. Reasonable, but I definitely get better results from a cheap phone from about the same price. Here's a photo just taken on the main 8 megapixel camera. As you can see, pretty good. And then it does go up to 10 times zoom, obviously digital, and I've zoomed in on some of the detail on the box of this item here. As you can see, very, very grainy, but you would expect that from digital zoom. Selfie camera does have various portrait modes where you can blur the background and you can set different various levels of blur. Doesn't work particularly well, as you can see here. Some of the blur does sort of drift into your face. And then there's a food mode, which kind of just has a circle in the middle of the picture, which is not blurred, and the rest is blurred. So there we have it. This thing feels so premium for the price. Just the fact that it's so thin and light and it's got really fine bezels. To be honest, I like it. You do need to accept that the cameras are a bit rubbish on this, and also it's not going to be amazing for gaming. As you saw on the likes of Call of Duty, you have to have the settings very low to get good results. But if you're just a casual Android gamer, then, you know, this will be fine. It's a bit of a shame that they're in a full HD screen on here, but it is a little bit better than the Amazon Fire HD 8. And the resolution on this one is, I think it's 1340 by 800. Bit of an odd number of pixels, but it works. Straight out of the box, there is an update available which takes it up to Android 12, which is quite nice. The security update is up to July 2022. This is a bit out of date now. Hopefully Samsung will continue to issue some more updates for this. But I've seen much worse than that on some of the other budget tablets and phones, so it could be worse. Even with the screen turned right up on the brightness, you still get many, many hours of entertainment out of this little thing. It's got a 5100 milliamp hour battery, so all good. Fantastic bright screen, and that is perfect for consuming media. Speakers are very loud. Video playback on YouTube up to 1080p. Netflix, that sort of thing. Most will go up to 1080p, but some will limit it to 720p. But it's good enough. And if you're trying to decide between this and the Amazon Fire HD 8, I would definitely go for this, simply because you've got the full Google Play Store and you are not restricted to Amazon's ecosystem only, where some apps just aren't available. There's not many games on there, and it's just a bit rubbish. It would have been nice to have a 15 watt charger in the box, so that's a bit of a shame, but most of us now have probably obtained a charger that will go up to 15 watts. If not, they don't cost very much now. You could potentially upgrade to one of those at a later date. Having said that though, the battery does last that long. You're probably not that bothered about fast charging, and the 7.8 watt power adapter is probably sufficient. You can charge it and use it and you will not have negative battery drain. So if you're charging it on that 7.8 watts and using it all the time, then as long as your screen isn't turned right up, then you're more than likely to gain more battery than you are going to use. Overall, very impressed. My expectations were quite low, as I'd recently obtained the Amazon Fire 8 HD for 2022. Quite disappointed with that, but with this I'm not disappointed. I'm quite pleased actually, and at the moment it is reduced by quite a significant amount at various retailers, so if you do want to pick it up, then I'll put some links in the description below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you already got one? Are you considering buying one? If you've got any questions, that kind of thing, then please do ask below and I will try and respond. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you very much for watching, and please do hit the subscribe button below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. If you have seen my videos before, thank you very much for continuing to watch them, and I will also see you in the next one. Thank you very much. See you later.